Internet. My name is Matt Banks, and I'm a music education student at the University of Evansville in Indiana. Now, I'm a clarinetist by trade, and as it is my junior year, I'm a pretty good clarinetist at this point, but I've always had a soft spot for low-pitched wind instruments. And I've got an even bigger, weaker spot for strange, obscure, non-functional musical instruments. Which is why I have this before me. Behold, the British G bass trombone. That's right, G isn't a maker's name, that's the actual pitch of the instrument. This contrasts with the standard B-flat trombone, which in modern day is the tenor and the bass trombone that we use. This is a really older instrument. It was popular throughout the British Empire from the late 18th century, well into the second half of the 20th century. But it's fallen out of disuse. Now, here are a couple of things that make this instrument unique compared to other trombones. First and foremost, it's much, much larger. Like, comparing this to a standard B-flat, it's about a foot taller with the slide closed, and with the handle out in third, the instrument's taller than I am. That leads to the other big distinguishing factor that makes this instrument unique, the slide handle. This, and all old low trombones, before they started looping slides, needed a special handle to reach the lower positions, specifically 6 and 7 on this horn. If you ever look in the history books, that's what the old F bass trombone of the continent used, and what the E-flat bass trombone used as well. But this handle lets you reach out to the lower positions without being a superhuman. And coincidentally, leads to one of this instrument's biggest drawbacks. If you'll give me a moment. Now, the biggest problem with having a handle like this is you can't play with the same agility that a player handling the stay of the slide with his fingers can do. Like, this just doesn't work on this horn. Now, the British found a way to combat this at like the turn of the 20th century by affixing a D valve and a whole D side to the horn, which is in this location. This is a straight G trombone, so it doesn't have that attachment. But they had a D valve affixed to it, which had the same function as the F tuning of the F slide on a B-flat tenor or bass trombone. It brought the positions that were far out much closer, contributed to the agility, and coincidentally, just like the F slide on the B-flat tenor, extended the lower range, giving this instrument the ability to play all 19th century bass trombone parts and most of the 20th century bass trombone whip, provided it didn't move at any considerable speed. Now, I'm going to play a little bit on this instrument. Keep in mind I'm a clarinetist, so try and cut me a little bit of slack. And I'll demonstrate to you that this instrument really does have a unique sound, even when compared to other bass trombones. Sorry, give me a moment to get recentered. There we go. As you can tell, I'm definitely not a bass trombone player, and I don't claim to be one. But this instrument has a really unique sound, a really unique way of producing sound, and I believe it has a use in our modern world. Now, this video is going a little long, but I'd just like to do a side-by-side comparison of just, say for example, its fundamental pitch, not the pedal mind you, but the fundamental pitch. This is a G. Alright, let's do one where I don't screw it up. Fairly nice sound. Now let's compare that. Be advised there's about to be a glare. To this B-flat bass trombone with an F side and a much larger bore. Already, this instrument sounds a little bit differently. Part of why it sounds differently is that until very recently, British instruments had a different gauge of size from their American counterparts. Generally speaking, we opted for instruments with wider bores, coincidentally larger sounds, and that had easier time speaking in the lower register. Now this isn't an authentic British bass trombone, this is a Salvation Army model, made for use by Americans. So its bore is a little wider, but it's only about the size of your standard tenor trombone, which coincidentally results in some of the lower register sounding a little, for lack of a better term, snarky. And if you notice me struggling when I was playing, with this larger slide, not to mention the problems with the handle and my poor centered pitch, it's a little difficult to find the pitches and find out where the slides are in tune. Like, as I see it, one's relatively in tune. I kick it out about an inch, maybe. Two is... believe it or not, 2/3 to the bell. Probably closer to half, but somewhere between half and 2/3 to the bell on this instrument. 3 is right at the bell. I'm talking where the slide handle ends up. 4 is just a little past the bell. 3 inches past the bell. 5 is basically 3 more inches further. And 6 and 7 are up in the air because I really can't measure that far. You just have to have a good ear. I'm blessed in the fact that I have perfect pitch, so I can kind of figure these things out. So, to anybody who sees this video, I hope this helps you out. I hope this gives you an idea of what this instrument sounds like, what it can do, and my challenge is to anybody who sees this video and has a G-Bass to make a video of you playing it far better than I was, because I'm not doing this instrument justice, and I know that. I'm just trying to start something. Thank you, Internet, for your time, and have a good morning, afternoon, evening, what have you.